Hello and welcome to Speedy Walkthroughs. This video is going to look a little bit different to a normal video that I do. So normally we'd be going through a whole game start to finish, and I will have a walkthrough of Donkey Kong 64 coming out this weekend doing that pretty much. Now those walkthroughs tend to not use glitches to get through the game, but Donkey Kong 64 in particular has some very easy and very useful glitches which basically save you a whole bunch of backtracking. So rather than having glitches in the walkthrough, I'm just going to put him into one condensed video. If you do these glitches, they're heaps easy to pull off and they'll save you probably minutes to hours of boring, tedious gameplay of backtracking and buying extra moves and stuff. I will also mention before we start that there is a ROM hack of this game called DK64 Tag Anywhere by Isotage. It lets you tag any Kong anywhere, and it also has this speed mode setting which reduces a lot of the backtracking that you'll see in the game. So if you have the scope to play a ROM hack of DK, this is a really enjoyable one, and it sort of obsoletes a lot of the glitches you'll see in this video. If not, keep watching this video and the glitches that I'll show you will work on the vanilla game and also reduce you a lot of backtracking. So I hope you find these useful, and before we get stuck into it, if you do, consider subscribing to keep up to date, both for the walkthroughs which come out each week and because it helps out the channel a whole bunch. Now, unfortunately, the first glitch is the most complicated one, but you sort of have to do it before you start the file. That's why I've got it at the start of the video here. If you want to skip this glitch, it doesn't matter too much. It just gets you a couple of extra moves without buying them. But it's called the Funky Weapons glitch. Now, this should only work if you've got a cartridge which has unlocked the stuff on screen. In particular, the 10 banana fairies might be a bit much. So if you're playing on like Virtual Console or emulator, don't bother doing this glitch. But if you've bought yourself a cartridge which has some stuff unlocked already, you'll be able to do this quite easily. If you're going to do this glitch, make sure you fire up the console with 2 controllers in already, and that you've turned on Story Skip from the settings menu in the main menu area. Alright, so go into the intro story here in the menu, and you want to click the A button. Now basically here you want to make sure that the music isn't playing when you hit the A button to come out of the intro story. So that's what triggers the glitch. You have to hit A within the first few frames of the intro story starting. So keep doing it until you don't hear the music, and then go into your game file once you've done that. It should be a blank fresh file. As soon as you're in the game file, literally just pause and quit the game. You should be getting like this game over cutscene and coming back to the main menu. I apologize about the footage quality here. I did record this off a real console and it's a bit crunchy. Anyway, once you're in the main menu here, just sort of skip through all the bits and pieces, and you're eventually going to get to the Japes boss. That's why you need the 10 banana fairies. The intro story is actually playing in the background right now, so we're sort of on a timer with all this. Go to 10, hit Japes boss. It should actually just kick you out if you've done it right. It shouldn't go to the Japes boss. Then go to Monkey Smash, actually start a multiplayer game, and again it should sort of kick you out. And then literally just go back and watch the intro story. You can press the button again, although try not to trigger the glitch again, and then just go into your file. At this point, you should have all of Funky's weapons. Now, you can do this check pretty much anywhere, but I like to do it here in this barrel. Just hit Z and C left, and DK should pull up his coconut shooter. Usually you wouldn't have it at this point in the game, but literally you just go and it's, yeah, you've got all of Funky's weapons. It's heaps good. Alrighty, the next glitch we're looking at is pretty easy to do. It's called Banana Fairy Island Early. So it's a swim through shores glitch, and this is a very general glitch that you can do pretty much all over the game. Duck down and keep mashing B while holding forward, and DK will swim through the shore, and then jump up into the door. So yep, just go back behind, and then you're in the door. Basically what this does is it lets you get the camera early. So normally in this game you can't get the camera until you unlock Tiny Kong, and that's like halfway through level 2. And you need the camera to take pictures of all the banana fairies, and you might have to do backtracking. You know, you'll see a banana fairy, have to remember it and come back to it later. Now that you've got the camera, you can do that pretty much straight away. But the other advantage of doing BFI early is you get this little shockwave attack, which is both a very good attack, and it helps you do the dirt squares in the game. So the dirt squares sort of look like this. You just press and hold B to charge up the shockwave and then let it go. That coin gives you 5 coins with each Kong. It's extremely useful, so it saves a whole bunch of coin grinding. If you just get like a couple of dirt patches along with Funky Weapons glitch, you're basically set for coins for the rest of the game. Although if you want to, you can also use the cheats menu if your cartridge has 20 banana fairies unlocked already. Now, a little note on the glitch itself. They tried to patch this out on the PAL and Japanese versions of the game by making the shore a bit more solid. I have been able to get into it on the PAL version with enough persistence. Basically, you just need to keep diving and undiving without moving backwards and you'll get through the shore. I haven't been able to get through on the Japanese version using that method though. So if you're playing on that version, you may not be able to do this glitch. Alright, the next glitch we're looking at is Crystal Caves early. Now you might be wondering, why do we want to get into a level early if we're going to do like 100% or something? The reason is the way that moves unlock in this game. So basically moves based on the latest level that you've been into. Crystal Caves is the second to last level. So just by popping in and out of this level, we've now basically got all the moves unlocked available to buy. And along with getting these really good coins, you can stack up on all the moves you need for the game pretty much straight away. So this glitch looks a bit weird, but I'll talk through the process here. So the first thing we need to do is something called a moon kick. Basically, what you can do with Donkey Kong is just punch through the air with the B button, and if you kick very shortly after, Donkey Kong will get the wrong gravity applied to the kick, essentially, and float upwards. You can then jump up on this boulder and then shimmy to the left. It is a pretty tricky glitch to do, but yeah, basically with persistence, you'll get in. So yeah, the trick is pretty much create a little bit of lag by flicking the camera back towards K. Rool's ship. That does help. And then just jump, and you want to basically just mash B when you jump at the end of the jump before you hit the ground. Try and grab about there on the ledge. If it doesn't let you shimmy left, then do the whole moon kick again and try and grab it. Once you're in the lobby, we do have to sort of break into Crystal Caves, but it's fairly easy to do because B-Locker doesn't have a good hitbox on him. Get up here with Donkey Kong. Basically, Donkey Kong's hitbox on the back is a lot smaller than the one on the front. So what you want to do is like turn around when you're near B-Locker and then basically just then turn forward and hit into the portal. You'll see it when I actually manage to get up here. Alright, so turn facing away, jump back in, and then turn around and sort of slap your way into the portal. If that doesn't work, then basically you want to turn around again and then jump and slap into the portal. So yeah, keep jumping backwards into B-Locker, get as far in as you can, and then turn and slap into the portal. You'll be able to get in. Now that we're in Crystal Caves, we've now unlocked all of Cranky and Candy's moves up to this point, and Funky. Just exit the level. And then whenever you go into a Cranky from now on, you can pretty much unlock all the Kong's moves straight away. So whenever you unlock a Kong, you basically just go on a big buying spree with them. Alright, with those sort of game setup move buying glitches out of the way, I'm now going to get into just general glitches you can use all over the game to save yourself a little bit of backtracking and movement. The first one is called a ledge clip, and it lets you clip off a ledge. So for example, this ledge here, ledges aren't very well put together in this game, so they have little gaps off the top corner. If you get into that gap, you can basically walk through and, for example, get into Troffenscoff without paying the bananas. So the easiest way to do this is to sort of walk up against a ledge and try to walk barely off the edge and keep pressing the C up button to go into first person, and that'll stop your movement completely. And then if you've fallen into the ledge, you should be able to just walk through. It's really that easy. Sometimes I like to walk almost parallel to the ledge, just walking off slightly, and that lets me get in there a lot quicker. Now, the reason I say this is a general useful glitch is you'll find just spots all over the game where you can use it. For example, Funky Forest, you've got this room which is closed to get you to the spider battle. You can literally just ledge clip in here. Yeah, so most surfaces you can ledge clip off. You just go to a box like this, which has a pretty large drop. Be persistent with it and you ledge clip off. The other good thing about going out of bounds in this game is you'll never like fall down out of bounds. It always just keeps the last floor height you are on. So you can just walk sort of out of bounds forever without any risk. And that saves you backtracking and having to like turn it back to daytime and then come back to this room. So if you find yourself in a situation where you've like stuffed yourself over with backtracking, usually a ledge clip can solve it. Alright, next glitch we're going to talk about is phase swimming. This does only work on the US version of the game. They fix it on PAL and Japanese. So it's a glitch where you can essentially swim through walls. It does only work on some walls in the game, so you just got to be really careful there. But basically, you've got almost a 25% chance of it working That's my understanding at least. And it depends what orientation the wall's on. So this wall we will be able to swim through. If it doesn't work, you could go to a wall which is oriented slightly differently and then try it. And then eventually you'll find a wall that you can get through. But basically what it involves is going into first person mode and then swimming at the wall. So press C up to go into first person. You can press A to leave if you want. Don't touch the joystick, and then bam, you just literally swim through the wall. That's all you need to do. So yeah, if a wall doesn't work, just try a different wall, and it often will. You can see there I was faced too far left, but if I go a little bit more to the right, you can swim through. I used to always just go a little bit to the right face swimming, but I don't think that actually helps. That was just something that I used to do. And basically the reason it works is by setting your angle over 360 degrees, and that breaks a lot of things. But when you're face swimming, you can actually do it from pretty much as far away as you want. So if you sort of like go into first person mode and don't touch the joystick, yeah, you should be able to just swim through the wall there as well. But yeah, really key there, don't touch the joystick because that'll reset your angle pretty much straight away there. This one's probably one of the easiest ones to do to save time. For example, if you want to get into Gloomy Galleon, not all the walls will work to face swim through, but this one off to the side tends to work. There you go. And now we're into Gloomy Galleon without getting the key to get in there. You can also use it within Gloomy Galleon itself to save a whole bunch of backtracking, opening and closing doors, as long as you're sort of pre-aware of which Kong you need to get through the doors. Alrighty, next genre of clip we're looking at is lag clips. These are pretty versatile, you can do them all over the game. They tend to only work on the N64 version, since the Wii U version is a lot less laggy, although there are some very laggy places in Wii U where you can do it. Essentially what you do is you go into first person, you throw oranges. I like a sort of 1, 1, 2, 3 pattern, sort of like that, and then you want to throw all 4, and then sort of kick backwards through doors and walls and everything like that. So this is, for example, getting into Angry Aztec early. You can see it took me a few tries, but I eventually got in. And you're trying to time when you're going back into the wall with when the big spike of lag is from the oranges exploding. If you've got cheats, you can put on infinite oranges and basically lag clip all over the game. But otherwise, you're pretty much just stuck to limited to 20 oranges and you're not doing many lag clips. So a couple more examples. In Frantic Factory, you can actually use lag clips to sort of clip yourself into this wall. You can, with DK, kick through walls, but with other Kongs as well, and with DK, you can actually hit yourself through the wall with the oranges, and that times it really well with the lag spike. Again, with out of bounds, all the ground's sort of like level, so you won't drop down, you'll just keep whatever the old height you had was, until you go over normal ground like I'm about to here, and then you'll fall down. And you can also use lag to help you make tricky jumps, like this one from the tree up to the cannon area, which you're not supposed to be able to make. If you sort of point the camera towards the water, which makes the game more laggy, the game will lag as you're doing the jump. And you get like a little speed boost as the character, which will help you get up there. You try and do that jump with the camera not pointed towards the water, and you're going to have a really rough time doing it. And that's essentially why lag clips work. It's a speed boost that you get from the lag. With jumps, the speed only applies horizontally, so you won't lose more height as you're jumping. You'll only just go further, which, yeah, lag makes jumps easier because you go further, essentially. Okay, now that we've seen how to clip through pretty much every wall in the game, the other hurdle you might face is gaining height in this game to get to certain areas. So we're going to look at a few glitches to do that just to round off the video. Alright, now I showed you a moon kick before with the caves early glitch, but they're a very general glitch that can help you save some time and avoid backtracking. One way to do a moon kick is off a slope, but another way is under a ceiling. The other way you can also do it is off a switch like this. So just sort of back yourself up to the switch, double tap the B button, and it'll take you quite a few tries, but eventually you should be able to moon kick up. That works on a lot of surfaces. Basically anytime there's a little ledge up there, it will work. So another example of where you can pretty much immediately moonkick is off a ledge like this. So back your way up to it, double tap, and you can moonkick up there. Helps you get up to higher places. And of course you got the classic moonkick up this ledge here. So any steep ledges will help you get moonkicks as well, or if you're stuck under a ceiling. Alright, now this one is just a little one here, jump out of attacks. Essentially, especially with DK, you just press the B button, you'll do this kick attack. You can jump out of that, so you can use that to make some really long jumps you maybe otherwise couldn't make. Just keep that in mind as you're playing through the game, and generally each character's B attack you can jump out of like that. Alright, next glitch we're looking at is a way to get height with Diddy called Moontail. This one's a bit trickier to do than a moon kick, but once you get the timing down, it's not too bad. So basically with Diddy, you've got the ground attack, which is the tail swipey thing, and then you've also got a double jump, which you can do. Moontail combines the two into basically jumping while doing the tail attack like that. Now, timing it is weird. You have to sort of jump and then press A and B at the same time. So pretty much what you want to do is like jump and then press A and then B quickly. And that's essentially how you moontail. Jump and then A, B. And if you do it right, you should get the tail spin thing in the air. And you can jump out of that. As I said, you can jump out of any B attacks with your character. So that's essentially how that works. Now, the weird thing is, this move's really easy to do if you have crystal coconuts. If you don't have crystal coconuts, you basically have to let go of A before you press B, and that's how you time it. I don't know why, but that's what I found in my research on this trick. But there you go, that's the moontail. If you have a coconut, it's easy to do. If you don't, just let go of A before you hit the B button. One really good use of it is to get up to this section in Frantic Factory. This will avoid you heaps of backtracking, because you have to drop down here with Diddy and also drop down here with Donkey. So it makes it so that you only drop down here with Donkey Kong. Alright, the last glitch to talk about for gaining a lot of height is skid jumps. So it's combining this skid motion with jumps. Essentially, you just turn around to skid if you do like a sharp turn, and if you press jump at the same time, then you skid and sort of go through the air, and you can actually jump out of it as well. So you'll know when you jump and you have the skid motion in the air, just like so. And then you can do another jump out of a skid like that. It's sort of like jumping out of an attack there. Now that gets you up to this platform with Chunky, which would have been too high to normally high jump up. So it does gain you a bit of extra height there. So if you put everything from this video together, we can now skip backtracking for moves, we can get through pretty much any wall, and we can gain a whole bunch of height. If you combine all this, you're going to get a much more enjoyable playthrough of Donkey Kong 64, in my opinion, and it gets rid of some of the more annoying parts of the game, so to say. I'll just point out before we finish that the glitches that I've shown are mainly useful for 101% and reducing backtracking, but this game has many more glitches that you can use to just skip needing the items altogether. I'll link in the description my any percent 5 Kong speedrun that I've done, which is pretty much where I got all this footage from for the video, and then you can see how all the glitches I've talked about are strung together into one big sequence, but you can also see some other glitches you can use to skip needing a lot of the items in the game. I hope you found this video useful, and thanks so much for watching.